Hello, everybody. It is Christine and Brooke. Say hello.
No.
You do the hands. Say hello. Okay, you guys. So this is video 5, I think it is, of
4.
Our...
Well, 5,
No.
yes.
Yeah, 5 including the intro, right?
Yeah.
Of our pre-work for setting our goals for 2025. Ooh. I'm not going to go back and summarize everything because I have done that in the last video and probably even a little bit in the video before that. So we are on the section where now... well, I'll just read this here. It says, you're doing great. You've learned from the past. You evaluated where you are now. You're dreaming about the future. You're clear on what matters most. Let's set some goals. So it says a helpful truth. Goals won't change your life. Knowing what matters, what's uncovered in the pages will. Goals are simply a tool to bring what you've uncovered to life, and they may change with the seasons and circumstances. That's kind of important because I will say, I think I've mentioned this before, but this tool here has... quarterly refreshes. So we may set some goals here and then next quarter we may roll out, or not this, I mean, obviously this is only, this is October. So let's say January, we start working our goals, and then come April, we realize, holy cow, things have completely changed. I've started back to college or not me personally, but, I'm not going to be doing that because I'm done with college. But anyway, the point is things may change as you may have to change your goals. So what they're just saying here is, just be aware your goals may change. I mean, if you're younger, maybe you end up getting pregnant by accident. Maybe it's a surprise or whatever. Or
don't say that.
I'm not talking to you. I'm just saying, generally speaking,
well,
things happen. We moved last year.
If you finished a goal.
Oh, that's true too. Let's say you finished a goal. That's a really good point.
You were just talking about, all of these are goals. I'm like, cool. If you get one done quicker, you can add a new one.
Add a new one. So okay. Anyways, the other thing I'll point out, and I haven't done this, but there's these little QR codes in here, so I need to actually scan that and see what's in there. It's kind of a resource. I don't know if I haven't even noticed. Is that on any of the other pages?
The first one.
Is this the first one? Okay, I don't feel so bad then. So they've kind of helped break things down here too. They've got this big dreams, which is goals without deadlines. It says create a welcoming home, build a strong marriage. Those are they're not going to be cultivating a community isn't necessarily you finished. You may never finish a big dream. It's just part of, who you are maybe. Finish lines, they have shorter time horizon. They're specific. They're measurable. These are kind of maybe normal goals in a way, like you think about them. And then habits, of course, are repetitive behaviors like, brushing your teeth every day or whatever. So those are different types of goals you could set. So what we're going to start doing, initially we thought maybe we would do it off camera, but then I told her, I said, well, that's not really, the whole purpose is we're kind of engaging with you guys and you're helping us stay accountable to the goals. And honestly, I've loved seeing some of the commentary. So I actually, on a scrapbook Facebook group, a lady had put a post out there. She said, hey, I've set 3 scrappy goals for this next year. One was do this many layouts. One was use, this mustache. And one was finish, this year's album, a given year's album. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so cool. I hadn't even contemplated really setting scrappy goals, and that's a huge part of my life. And I want to give a shout out to Deborah, because she said, I've been watching your newest video, and I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Because I'll be real with you guys, this is not my normal type of content, so we're not, there's not as many people watching it, which is totally fine. That's not even I told Brooke, that's not even the point of these videos. It's for us to stay on track.
I want a fan club.
She wants a fan club. She does it really. She's being silly. But the whole point is, so again, thank you, Deborah, for watching. I really appreciate it. And commenting, by the way. That was so sweet. So, okay, let's get started. So the first category, now what you can do if you've got this tool is go back. You can look at your brainstorm. Where's it at? Here. Brainstorm your year ahead. I actually wrote a whole bunch of goals down. But then you kind of look back at your ratings. And so let's look at community as an example, because that's where we're starting. Well, I gave myself a 6. So, I mean, I don't have any really big numbers either, or really low numbers either other than this part. So a 6 is kind of middle of the road. So I would say that, yeah, it would make some sense to have a little goal in here, at least one.
I think you're supposed to have one.
You don't have to, actually, and I'll point that out too. If, as a person, you get overwhelmed, if you have 8 goals, which I have definitely seen other content creators who say 8 goals is just too many. It's just too hard to focus on that many things. You don't have to do 8 goals. I mean, that's okay. You don't have to. We probably will, at least 8, or at least something in every category. We're overachievers, yeah.
Well, I also think it depends. If you have a bunch of tiny goals, I think you can do 8. Because if they're habitual,
Sure.
But if it's 3 really large
You know, what if in
goals.
community you decide I'm going to build a classroom and offer monthly classes to that's a big goal, right? So maybe you can't focus on home and spaces because you're spending all your time building your classroom. Maybe you can't go into your house and build a bathroom or whatever. So anyways, so community is our first category. I'm looking at community. I got a 6. I did have some stuff about growing friendships and stuff. So I think that's a good area for us to have a goal. The other thing Brookie wanted to do, and I thought it was a good idea, was we kind of wrote our ideal life and used Chat GPT. So I'll just show you real quick. It's on my iPad here to kind of give us some ideas. So if I look at the community, it says engage with neighbors, then community engagement, start a local group. These are just a couple of ideas. And also, again, we've talked about this before. There's a quick start guide. So goals are personal. I would say I've got two goals, I think. I want to do, actually, also I want to get my markers here. I like using the colors now.
Yeah.
So I told Brooke I would like to start entertaining more.
I actually put that too. And I guess since we live together, it works out.
Yeah, so we're going to
I found this thing on Pinterest. It's like themed for the month, basically.
I don't know if I'll do it monthly. I think that's probably a little extra. So let's just say quarterly.
I did say it. So I said monthly or bi-monthly. So, because I think if it's small, it's not as...
Well, you can set your own goal. That's fine.
I just live with you, so that's kind of weird to host something.
Okay, well, we'll see how... I'm going to put quarterly because I want to be smart and real about myself. And if I say...
Come on, overachieving, man.
All right, anyways, entertain more quarterly. And what I mean by that is have some kind of little gathering. And probably ladies, if I'm honest. Although we probably need to...
we need to help the men.
We need to have the men come too, but we'll do that. Okay. And then also, I want to make sure... I think I'm going to add... Instead of, we have our ladies' church thing. I feel it more as a community versus, it's kind of either one of these, spiritual or community. But I'm going to put it in community because it's more about building those relationships. It's not really about it, but it is. So we've joined the church group. So I'm going to say attend, ladies. The reality is this is a time-bound group. Mm-hmm. So I may have to rejoin. I'll put rejoin if needed. I don't know how that's going to work out yet. This is kind of still new. And I think I'm going to also put in here, I'm going to be a little more intentional with my scrapbook community engagements. And what I mean by that is my scrapbook community is essentially online. And I will watch a lot of videos and I will scroll and all that kind of stuff, but I don't always comment in that. And that's not how it's kind of like if you're walking past a room and you just poke your head in, you're not really engaging with anybody. So I do always comment on everybody that comments on my videos, but I don't go out and look at other people's videos and comment a lot. I watch the videos, but I always comment. So I'm going to make sure I start doing that. Okay. Oh, wow. She's way ahead of me, you guys. She's already on home and spaces. And no, she's on family. Dang, you guys. I'm slow.
Well, that's because you're kind of talking. But basically what I'm doing, I think you kind of, is I did look at the brainstorming your goals. And then also, I don't know if you told them what we did for the Chat GPT. That we found it on Instagram.
Go ahead, tell them while I do this.
But basically, it said, write your future life that you want and be super detailed. So, I wrote it down to when I'm waking up, what I'm doing, all this stuff. And then when you wrote it in Google Drive or Word doc, whichever you choose, you then copy and say, write me a story based on everything I already have with this description. And then you put the description in and it'll create this elaborate story based on what it told you. And then you say, create me goals in these categories to help me reach this. And then it'll break it down for you in that category. So you can kind of ping off of that and then kind of say, okay, is this relevant right now? Because part of mine, I had talked about, having children. Well, that's not really relevant at the moment. And then I'm also going through, so that's a good springboard. And then we're going through, this is what I'm doing is I'm looking at, okay, the goals I brainstormed, what categories that fit in. And then I'm looking at my evaluation and saying, okay, where did I need to grow with my spiritual where did I need to grow? So like community, I put host. I gave myself an 8 because I'm pretty involved with what we do just in my job and just I coach at a gym, so I see people all the time. But I would say my biggest thing is like, okay, all these friends that I have, like having them for monthly things we were just talking about. And then I say continue to engage with our neighbors and maybe doing classes with my friends. Like we just did a candle making class and that was really fun. And then the home and spaces, so we don't technically have our own home right now, so really organizing the space that we do have. So organizing the closet and room and getting rid of stuff, starting a chicken coop or garden. And then I was going to say create daily routines to keep a clean house. I was doing that, I think I said this last class, clean closet, every day to really create a very clean house. It was like one day was bathroom, one day was kitchen, one day was sweeping and mopping. And then family, again, I'm using part of what I've used here because it has family and relationship goals, and also looking at, so I have a date night with my husband one time a week, quarterly trips with him, doing a devotional with him, and then starting family traditions. Again, because part of this is using the mixture of both. So,
I need to put update bathrooms in here. That's going to drive me crazy.
Do you want to talk about what you're working on?
Okay, so if I'm honest, the ChatGPT is helpful. It gave me some ideas, but I actually had, I think, some solid brainstormed ideas too. So I just got to make sure I don't forget something that I do think was important. So as an example, I had written down here, entertain more. I had a set attend the ladies group and scrapbook community engagement. Well, I completely forgot. I actually still want to also make sure I connect with my long distance friends. Last year, I think it was, I started off by like mailing cards and all that. And I also, I really enjoyed that. And I got several times I had a friend text me that says, oh my God, I cried today because that was so sweet. I really appreciated it. Mm-hmm. And I love impacting someone's day like that. So I want to make sure I do that. And it could also be a phone call or a text or something. So I want to make sure connect is kind of a generic word for like doing something. And then also in the home and spaces, I had written organized closets because that is kind of, our storage is so limited here. It needs to be a little better organized. And then I want a clean car routine. I want to decorate for the seasons. I actually really enjoy, I usually do the holidays pretty good, but I think it'd be pretty to do spring and things like that. So that's kind of fun, especially if we're going to entertain. And then update the bathrooms. This is upsetting to me. I just wrote the wrong letter here too. And that may involve a financial goal, by the way, because sometimes goals can kind of connect, by the way, because an update in the bathroom is going to take some money. So there may be some financial goal in there. And then on family, I've got quarterly trips with Greg. We went, not this past year because of the move, but the year before I took him, like, I wouldn't say surprise because I told him I planned it, but it was like just kind of an impromptu, not really even that. I bought it in advance, but we went to San Diego for a weekend and he just loved that. He really, really loved that. And my husband works so hard. It's difficult for me to do quote date night because he just doesn't break away from his work routine and stuff and his sleep routines. He's very disciplined with his rest. So for him, this is the way to connect. Like he wants to go on a trip. I need to make sure I call my mom and dad weekly. I do fairly good here, but not great. So, with my mom, I text with her every day, but not on the phone always, so I'd like to do that. My dad, I'm fairly good. Sometimes I miss a week, but most of the time I do pretty good, but I want to make sure I keep that up. That's a thing that's working that I want to keep doing. I think about you guys, but you're here, so I'm not going to sit here. I wouldn't mind actually connecting with cousins. I have cousins. I do have their phone numbers, but I don't connect with them often. So this could be something new that could add value to my life. Okay, spiritual. Why do I have... Oh, shoot, y'all. I used the wrong marker on community. Oh, well. It's fine. It's fine. Because this was spiritual. We're going to use this one. It's okay. Technically, these are the Moxie Life markers. They're mild liners, but they're Moxie colors. But they're very similar, so I want to make sure I definitely get in the Bible, daily Bible. I had a rough Sunday this week. I'm not going to get into details. That's not really relevant at the moment. But it was a really rough Sunday and Monday even. But then yesterday, I was like all in my Bible, and I had a really great evening.
That's usually how
Isn't that
works.
Crazy?
I told you that.
So I got to make sure I'm like really in it, like
Okay,
journaling.
so this is interesting. It doesn't really have much to do with that. And if you're not Christian, you can listen if you want to, because I believe that's part of what we're supposed to do. But it said anxiety and depression, all these things are actually demons. So when you read that, you would create this force field. Force field sounds weird,
I know what you're saying. You're like protection around it. It's the armor of God, basically.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I thought that was interesting.
Yeah. So I also want to make sure. I'm reading. I did pick up a book also, and I've read a chapter a night.
Dollar bookstore. I keep finishing.
So I'm gonna also read more. I'm gonna read. I need to give myself a specific number of books. I'm not gonna be crazy about it. Let's just say read 20 books.
700
this year. I think that should be good. Also, I don't know if this is really. I put on here a scrapbook retreat. I think that could be fun. It's kind of community, but also kind of personal growth in a way. And so I'll put that on, because there's classes and stuff. So I'm going to justify it that way. So if anybody has any, if any of my scrappy friends on here have some good retreats, I'm in the Houston, Texas area. It would be awesome if it's drivable, because I'm not trying to fly with my scrapbook supplies, you guys. Just not doing it. I will probably go to the Houston GASC, I think.
Is there one?
Yeah. Is it GASC? I think so. There's one in Houston. Because it's only an hour away versus driving all the way to Dallas. Let's see. I want to go outdoors, but that's under health and wellness, I think. Okay. And I want to journal more, I think. I don't do enough of that. I'm going to add that as a thing. I need to define more. I guess better than zero.
What are you saying?
Journal more.
Okay, yeah, you need to put do you want to do it daily?
Oh,
I mean, that's
a
more
really good
so
point.
vague.
I know, it is.
Well, that's what I
vague.
was telling you last year. I made the mistake of, or the learning point of, my goals were entirely too vague.
Well, let's see. I'm going to put journal weekly, and then honestly, it needs to be daily, but my stretch goal will be daily, because if I try to remember something every day, I've been supposed to be taking off my watch.
Supposed to be like that. You haven't been doing it?
The last 2 nights I forgot.
Mother?
I know. Anyways, okay, finances. So finances, we've actually done a pretty good job with retirement savings, but there's always, ways to do better. So I need to start planning for Greece. We want to go to Greece for our 35th wedding anniversary, which is in 2026. I'm going to put save for Greece. Now, there's steps involved there, like finding out how much it might cost, stuff like that. And reduce the mortgage balance. We want to have our mortgage paid off by the time we retire. That's going to be a stretch goal, but we are going to work on that. And so there's that. And the problem is this Chat GPT doesn't really know. It says budget for travel, sustainable income. Oh, I will say, no, that's our side hustle stuff. I don't really have any. All right, so we're going to skip that. That's probably all I have for that. That's my 2 biggest right there. I mean, obviously, I guess I say that, and then obviously we need to save for the quarterly trips. Save/budget.
No, just spend it all.
No.
Okay. I don't know what to call this, but I'm thinking like, well, I want to do like get ready, do a color analysis, all that kind of stuff. But I don't know what that'd be considered.
You mean like your day, how you look or something? Like,
yeah, like I want to find my style, but I don't know if I can. That wouldn't be any of these really, because I wanted to do a color analysis, and I wanna. There's a lady that comes in, and she's actually a personal stylist, and like,
I mean, you could just call it "Find My Style."
Okay, that's.
I mean, why not? Like, it's your own thing, so whatever you want it to be.
That's true.
Okay, work and learning.
What is that?
So work and learning for me. So honestly, my day job is, I don't really have a ton of goals there. That sounds so awful, but I don't know. I feel like I've done in my profession. Like, I've been a director. I have no interest in being like a C-suite at this point anymore. Like, that's just not, I don't want that kind of work load. Like, I think that demands a lot of time. And I feel like I have a really nice balance right now. So I'm not really interested in growing those types of goals. So I'm going to call this, what do I want to call that? Work and learning. Work. I don't really know what to call this now. Because I have in my personal growth some stuff. I could make this my YouTube stuff. I'm going to put this as my YouTube stuff. So, I could call this YouTube and scrapbook, because those are kind of tied together, and also I wanted to set some scrapbook goals. I should probably have like whited that out and done that. So the first thing is I would like to get to, I think, what'd you say my subscriber count was? Like 1,600 and something? I'd like to get to 2,000 subscribers. So I got to make sure to do that. As a community, you guys deserve content. So to do that, I need to do at least 20 videos a month, I think.
And giveaways and hauls. And
well, that's not really a goal. I'm going to say 20 videos a month. I did like how she had scrapbooking goals. I love that, get in your stash, because I do that with my counterfeit kit. We do get in there, but then frankly, I struggle to use that kit every month because I love my new stuff. So I'm going to say, how did she word that? Oh, shoot. I'm going to call it stash budgeting here, and I'll have to get a little more detailed on the break it down. And then I want to start getting into my older photos also. Ooh, we got to do your wedding. I need to scrapbook your wedding.
No.
I'm going to say that. I'll make sure I get that done this year. I want to do all the pictures. And there's a lot. There's a lot. I say all the pictures. If it's a duplicate, I'm not going to mess with it. But definitely, like, what I need to do is, honestly, part of that's going to be create an outline. Like,
for the wedding photos?
Yes. So the way you're supposed to kind of do, or I shouldn't say supposed to, but.
Are you doing an album?
Yeah, it should be an album.
Album.
All right, I'm going to do that. I'm going to just leave it at that for the moment. Okay, health and wellness. What you got on your health and wellness?
Honestly, I don't have that many
visit
goals.
the state park. I like that.
Yeah, because you can get a pass for the year, and it's like $70, but it's like can take care of your whole car, which is cheaper because every time you go, it's like $5.
I need to go to the dentist.
Yeah, you do. I need to tell Seth to schedule his.
And also, I need a regular haircuts.
Same.
This is going to sound a little silly, but.
Well, I think time just slips away when you don't.
And 100%. Also, I want to make sure I do my regular holistic visits.
I'll make sure you do that. Out of love. I actually really enjoy growing. I'm hoping.
And I want to go outside every day.
It's good for you.
There's vitamin D in our sunshine, right?
I forgot that you don't really go outside.
I don't. Isn't that sad? I mean, we're right here. I did go outside yesterday to decorate the front porch.
Yeah.
I was out there for like 30 minutes.
Even if you sit on the back porch, it's lovely.
I did that last night too. After they went to the tractor place to get that part, and I sat on the front porch with the dogs playing and stuff. So, I mean, I have other goals in the sense of like, weight loss and all these things. But I think this stuff kind of ties. I want to have goals I think on the quarterly refreshes, I'll be revisiting some of this.
Yes.
Now this one right here is going to be I'm going to call this side hustle. And this one's tricky because you can't control an outcome necessarily with this type of stuff. All you can control is your actions, right? So
I think it's more routine based.
Yeah, I just need to be consistent. So I'm going to do...
you could say, I don't know,
content.
One booth a month or one booth a quarter. You could say post 3 times a week. I don't know what it has as your goals for your side hustle, but...
Oh, let me see. Well, it talks about the YouTube channel, which I did talk about that up here, so I split that up.
Kit business.
It just says to set a revenue a goal.
Oh my gosh!
Well, I said it when I was 70. I wanted to be $500,000. Why not?
I mean, yeah.
So, but that's about daily client connections. I need to message at least, I'm going to say 3 people a day, let's say. And then I will set a goal. Let's start with just $1,000 a month. I mean, I have a little bit, but it's not that big. That'd be nice. My goal is to be, by the time we retire, this is paying. What I wrote in my story was that this pays for all of our quarterly trips.
Oh, nice.
So that's our goal. Okay, so that's our brainstorm goals. Now it says set goals that stick. And now you have to take these goals and like break them down into specific actionable steps. Now they use, instead of SMART, if you've ever heard of SMART goals, which is specific, measurable, blah, blah, blah. They use Bloom because of the whole, if you think about cultivating and their floral motif and all that kind of stuff, it's break it down little by little, on purpose, on a schedule, measurable. So again, very similar. So as this an example here, this one says you steward your finances well. So maybe that's your goal. But then you break it down little by little. So I tell you what, let's do this. I think
Pause.
I'm a little bit, do we take and based on what we just did,
You choose your goal.
we choose one goal
Yes.
from here and put it here?
Yes. But it could be a big goal, like for example, this is where I got in trouble, but it could say cultivate your community, and then those are your quarterly goals. Or those are your habits or whatever.
Oh,
So,
okay.
But remember this.
Okay, I did only do 4.
But
the most I have is 4.
Remember, this is the end of our video, because then the next one is where we're going to break it down for people.
So then, do we need to pick one out of each of these and say that's our goal?
Or
I'm a little confused because I have a daily Bible read. That's
what
not
I
a
was
habit.
saying. So that's where they go. If you look at the book, they'll say cultivate my spirituality is your big goal.
Oh, gotcha.
I know it's not measurable, but then that's where you have your daily habits.
I see. All right. So okay. Do we look at this and say, granted, as an example?
So yeah, like cultivate my friendships, cultivate friendships in my neighborhood. So those are your big dreams. Find and join a church group. Well, technically, you did that, but
develop rhythms to see my friends.
Stuff like that. That's your like big goal. And then when you go in here,
or honestly, why couldn't we just take and go? 42%. Okay, so you could technically take. Honestly, to be fair, this should have been like brainstorming a bunch of things.
That's true. But
And then you narrow it down here. This is going to take some thought. Okay, I'm going to stop the camera because this is going to take some thought. I kind of like what you just said because community, I mean, generally speaking, you're right. If I entertain quarterly, if I attend I'm building my community. I'm exactly what you just said.
It's your big goal.
It's my big goal. And then those are the things that I need to do. But do I write those things here at all?
Yes. No, that's
just
that's
the
in, that's in
But
this
then
part.
I come into this section here, which we're not doing at the moment,
Yes.
which is this, and then you do stuff. Oh, and I
Because
see
think
my
about
seasons.
when you go
okay.
here.
But if this is quarterly, that technically has to be in each quarter, which is okay, right?
That's fine, yeah. Just
Okay.
think about when you get here, the monthly, weekly, daily. So
Okay.
That's fine.
All right, well, let's stop the camera for just a second. Let's kind of nail ourselves down here, and we'll be back on in a second. Okay, so what we've done is taken, like, these goals and kind of called it something, right? If that makes sense. So, as an example, I've got entertain more, attend the ladies group, scrapbook community engagements, and connect with long-distance friends. And I've called that grow my circle and love on my tribe. So that's my... what did she call it? Was it called Big Dream Goal? And then we will, maybe you can say yours, which is...
Well, mine's kind of similar. It's
Yeah.
to cultivate my friendship. Because, I was saying I have all these people in my life, but really growing those relationships.
Yeah. So I think the idea behind these may be, and this may not work for you, by the way. If you're a person that needs very specific things and you want to focus, like, for example,
Well,
as
I would
you
just probably go down
you
the
might
goal.
just pick one thing, entertain more quarterly, right? So that might be your goal here. And you can have more than one of these goals, and these, like, you could have 2 of these as be your goals here, and then say, well, I'm not going to do anything in this category this time because that's not really that's not where I want to start. You could absolutely do that. You could eliminate. Now, that being said, you're going to run out of your little flags here, and but you can buy the books.
Yeah.
I mean, they have the books. You can use a marker. It doesn't really matter. You could have 2 of the yellows and a pink, and then a blue, and whatever you want to do. We just did it like this. This is our style. I did put this little cultivate what matters here.
What's your next
It's
goal?
okay to grow slow. I'm going to do that. And then you got the little flowers. I may
What's
go
your
ahead.
next goal?
My next one's modernize my home. Because I definitely want to focus on like getting the closets done and the bathrooms updated and stuff. The car is technically not in the home section here, so I'll have to think on that one. But I can still have that. I think.
I did refresh.
Yeah, I kind of like that. I have love my family and spouse well.
I did strengthen my my marriage with my husband. His name's Seth, but.
And then grow intentionally in my faith and life.
I did increase my giving to be 10% of my income.
So you have a more specific goal.
Yes.
I have steward wisely on my financial piece.
So I did cultivate because a lot of our goals were savings.
Yes.
So I think that's because I think we have so for the last 3 years my goal had been tracking and budget. Well, my husband takes care of most of that now. I mean, I'm still aware, but even our financial advisor was like, "You guys have a very good budget," which I was like, "Cool."
Yay.
And so now it's saving.
Yeah.
And
with us, obviously, with our life and where we are, we have decent, we have good savings and retirements and all that stuff. But, you know, I think it's important to steward what you have wisely. We do have the mortgage, which, you know, that's what it is. But I think still you got to steward what you're given wisely. So ours is less about growing savings, as it were, as to just steward what we do have. I changed on the working learning here. I've kind of focused on, even though it does have the scrapbooking stuff in here, I'm calling that grow YouTube channel. And again, that may change in a quarter. You know,
Yeah.
may or 6 months. I may go, okay, great, my YouTube's met my goal. I may now work on more, you know, scrappy goal types. I don't know.
Well, I had our specific business goal, but then I was like, it's kind of an all over thing. So I just said grow our business. I know it's a little vague, but there's a big goal, but there's also another big goal. So that's why I was like, okay.
I did put find a self-care rhythm that fuels me, because I kind of have a bunch of different little things, but they're almost like regular things. Like I have to establish a regular dentist visit, regular haircut, those type of things.
I did the same. I mean, I don't really, that was like almost a 9, but I think it's more of like what makes me happy, like including, you know, more stuff and stuff like that. So.
And then the last one, my side hustle stuff, is more about established consistency. I mean, I'll be just transparent with you guys. I love our product. I have seen results. I have had results, all the good stuff. The only reason I don't have a ginormous business, if I'm honest, is because I get distracted. I just get distracted. And you have to, it's just like anything. It's like if you plant a beautiful flower in a great pot and you forget to water it, well, it's going to die. So I need established consistency. I have some great clients, but I don't have a big number of them because I have allowed myself to not grow because I don't want to let anybody down, and I don't want to be that way. So I've got established consistency, and I think you said
Find my style, so that color analysis and all that kind of stuff.
And aren't these pretty, these little flowers? I think these are great. Okay. So those are our goals, you guys. So that's the end of this video, because the next section is to take those goals and then break them down. So as an example, the first thing is going to be this goal action plan for our first goal. So I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to distract everybody from what we did here today. I hope you guys have a wonderful day. I'm really curious. Again, I think we've had a few comments. If you, yes, let's do that. Oh, almost forgot. This is the fun part. Our little map is
these two.
Oh, yes, we forgot to do this. We got to do our little stickers here. Look at that. We have 3 gold stickers. So we have to do our breakdown. Our goals is next. Ooh, selecting a word of the year. We need to start thinking about that.
I agree.
I don't know what mine says. I haven't got any sense of it just yet. I haven't thought on it.
Chat GPT and
no, it's supposed to have a spiritual connection.
That's true.
Anyways, I'm kidding about that in a way, but you could take all your goals and say, hey, what would you suggest as a word of the year?
That's what I literally just said.
That is what you just said.
Like, you could literally, where's it at?
I don't know. It's on my thing here. All right, so we're good for the day. You guys have a lovely day. Thank you so much for spending time with us. Love you guys, and we'll see you next time. Bye.